Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm starting off with some really positive news. I hit 5,000 subscribers on my channel, so thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed. I'm absolutely over the moon. I love creating content and chatting away with all of you, so this means a lot, so thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, do. I will be also introducing channel memberships in a few weeks' time, so stay tuned for that. In this video, I will be going through how my team got on this game week, some of my transfer targets, and of course my transfer plans for game week 23. So let's get straight into it. Here is the team in all its glory. Unfortunately, we do have a red arrow this game week, but it's not a horrendous one. It's a very small one. But again, we're not really going in the right direction at the moment. I've got 1,273 points in total. My rank is at 460,000 and I got 56 points this game week. It could have been a lot worse. My captaincy decision paid off and I got very, very lucky with benching situations. So we will go straight into it. Obviously, keep in mind, I've got one free transfer going into this game week and 6.9 million in the bank because I did sell Salah last week for Bernardo Silva, which was a mixed transfer, but stay tuned. So we'll start off in goal. Areola, 3 points. Again, I'm not going to dwell too much. Dubravka got the same amount, so fine, whatever. Then Trent, he only got 1 point. He came in off the bench, which was unfortunate because I did think he was going to start. Unfortunately, he did not. He only played for 22 minutes. But I'm feeling optimistic that he's going to start this game week against Arsenal. So we're keeping the faith with Trent. And then Saliba, oh, so annoying that Taiwo returned from his injury and annoyingly ruined all of our clean sheet dreams. Taiwo did score against Arsenal, which took away our clean sheet and was really disappointing because the team was looking very healthy at the start of the game week and it just went downhill. But even so, I'm happy. I would really, really love to see some attacking returns from Saliba in the upcoming game weeks. He's up that kind of premium price point where I'm expecting a bit more from him, but we're going to be patient with it. And then, normally one that I thought I could rely on for attacking returns, but it was horrendous. Estupiñán, nothing. Brighton, what happened? A 4-0 loss to Luton is absolutely tragic. The thing is, Luton at home, they just have such a good defence. Like, they're a different team when they play at home. And I really, really, really want to go to a home fixture because I can imagine the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. But a 4-0 loss, the fact that Brighton didn't even score, that 4-0, ridiculous. Did not expect that from Estupiñán. I'm currently umming and ahhing about whether or not he is worth the money. Eyeing up Van Heck, did discuss that in a live stream earlier this game week. So one to watch, but he's not really a priority transfer out at the moment, and Brighton do have a really lovely run of fixtures, so hopefully they will come back alive and kicking this game week. And then the midfield, Richarlison. I was a bit nervous about this captaincy, but I was really happy. Richarlison scored a goal. He scored against Brentford. I was watching the City game and the notifications kept coming up in the corner saying that there was a Spurs goal. And Richarlison scored, I think it was the third goal. But after the first two, I was like, I've made such a bad choice with captaincy. But I'm really, really happy. So I got 14 points in total. Captaincy decision paid off. We will get to Bernardo Silva shortly. Saka, he got a goal. Very, very happy with that as well. I was umming and ahhing again about transferring him out. Very pleased that I didn't. He scored a goal and he also got 3 bonus points. That's 10 points in total. He's had attacking returns. He's been on quite a good run recently. So I think I'm going to remain hopeful, keep him in, and then assess around the wild card. But I'm really, really pleased that I did keep him in. And then Palmer, we won't talk too much about that tragic performance from Chelsea, but we only got 2 points from him. Unfortunately as well, I thought Chelsea were going to get given a penalty and then we'd get some Palmer points, but that did not happen. But Bernardo Silva, I transferred in because I thought Foden, minutes risk. Alvarez, minutes risk. And then what goes and happens? And then KDB, a bit too expensive, wasn't sure if he was going to start. And then Bernardo Silva is the one that gets benched. However, I think that means he is going to start the next game. So hopefully, and he's better away from home. This was a home fixture, and we know that's kind of Foden's forte. Whereas Bernardo Silva away from home is a good one. So let's hope for the best. But the best thing about this was it means I got Trippier's 7 points off the bench. And bench order does matter because I could have easily swapped Trippier and Gordon. Wasn't too sure about whether or not to bench Gordon. When Gordon got an assist, I was kicking myself and then it got taken away and I was feeling a bit more smug. But I got Trippier's 7 off the bench. So that's really, really helped the the points this game week. And then Solanke scored a goal. I wasn't watching the game, but I got a notification and phew, that's what I said. I was very pleased. Darwin. Horrific. Didn't like watching it. and I found it stressful and emotional. And I think that just sums up owning Darwin. He did get an assist. He missed a penalty. He also got a yellow card. I think everything that a player could do in that game, he did. He hit the bar 4 times in one single game, which has never, ever been done. So hats off to you, Darwin. I might be reaching my emotional limit with owning Darwin. So think he could potentially be one for the chopping block, and yeah, I'm finding it stressful at the moment, but it's annoying because I think it's nice that I have got someone that is getting these opportunities, but if we could convert them into goals, the thing is, just take his goals or his shots and just move them slightly to the left or the right, and we could be looking at the top goal scorer. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So yeah, I'm pleased I had 2 points from Darwin because at one point it was on -2. So that's we'll take that as a win. And then Ollie Watkins, Mr. Consistent as always. He scored a goal and then he scored again, but unfortunately it was disallowed by VAR. But it was so close. It was fine margins. But 7 points, very pleased with that. Then we have touched on Dubravka on the bench, Trippier with his 7 points, then Gordon and Pinnock just with 1 point each. So now we will get to my watch list, players that caught my eye from this game week. But first of all, we will talk about my watch list from game week 22 and how successful I was. So this was actually quite a good one in comparison to my first recap of my watch list players. So we have got Maddison, of course. He returned from injury. He got 7 points. He got an assist, so that gets a nice tick. And then Jota, I really want to own him. He's looking so good. He got 8 points and he got a goal. And then we have got Isak. He did not get 8 points. That's a typo. He got 1 point and he came off injured. He only played 42 minutes. But it's looking fairly likely that he could feature against Luton. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's just Isak and Wilson. Can we just get some consistent games from them? Because they're such good assets. But yeah, unfortunately, Isak did get injured. So ignore the 8 points. That's actually 1 point. For those, that was a test to see if you are looking at the graphics. But for this week's upcoming watch list, it won't come as a surprise to some of you. Such a soft spot for Forest. Taiwo is back. He played for the first time since game week 12. And he came on for 45 minutes and scored Forest's only goal against Arsenal. Again, a bit bitter about it from the Saliba standpoint. But very happy for Forest that they have got him back. I loved Taiwo, especially towards the end of last season. He was just getting attacking returns non-stop. Then started off this season again with the same kind of, momentum. And I think Taiwo is in a similar bracket to me as Tony, where I do think that it doesn't matter who they're going to play against. They're just going to find a way to get a goal. They're so, so good. Such talented players. So Taiwo is definitely in the watch list. He is one that I'd be quite keen, I think, to bring into my team at some point. He is only 6.3 million, so it's a really, really nice price point, and his ownership is so low at 1.3%. I do see this going up because obviously he's back from injury now. But I don't see this going kind of sky high unless he does keep having those consistent returns. So I think this is one to watch. Maybe in the next 10 game weeks, we could see his ownership going up more to like 15% potentially. But the upcoming fixtures as well, they've got Bournemouth away, which should be an easy one for him to get some goals in. And then Newcastle at home. It could be tricky. Newcastle's defence has been pretty leaky. Plus, it's a home fixture. Forest are a bit similar to Luton, where their performance at home is just so much better. And then they've got West Ham at home as well. So I think the next three, I'm really excited by it. Unfortunately, he's not really a priority transfer in for me at the moment. But again, when it comes to the wild card, he's one that I'll be considering. And then the next one is Eze. What a performance from that man. 2 goals. Eze captainers, hats off to you, because I saw quite a few. I think it was a great fixture to target. Obviously, Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United are just the one that you kind of you go for, don't you? If you've got a player playing against them, it's quite a clear captaincy choice in most situations. But I would never have risked captaining Eze. I owned him at the start of the season. I've been very bitter about how he was doing in my team because I didn't go for Mbomo, I went for Eze. And then obviously he was out with the injury. But he's come back. He's ready to go. He's only 6 million and his ownership's still, at the time of filming, quite low at 3.5%. Upcoming fixtures, they have got Brighton away from home. We saw Brighton conceding 4 goals to Luton. I mean, surely De Zerbi is going to have a word and that will not be happening in the near future for them. But Eze could find his way into getting a few shots and goals against them. Then Chelsea at home, we just won't touch on because Chelsea's defence is... yeah. And then Everton away as well. So it's a nice run of fixtures. Again, probably not a priority transfer in for me, but if you do have that midfield spot that you're looking to fill, £6 million, I would go for it. And then we have got my favourite player, Anthony Gordon. I feel like Anthony Gordon, he is in my team, so I don't know whether this is a bit of a cheat for my watch list. I'm definitely biased towards him. He's 6.1 million. His ownership's at 20%, so it's a lot higher than the other two. If you're looking for a differential, go for the other two. Anthony Gordon, though, fifth highest scoring midfielder. He's on 105 points so far in fantasy. He's got a home fixture coming up against Luton, which is so tempting. We know that Newcastle's track record at home is so much better than away, but Gordon just absolutely exemplifies this. In terms of home fixtures, he's the second top scoring player in fantasy at home, producing 6 goals, 5 assists and 76 points in home fixtures. Now, when you consider he has got 105 points overall and 76 of those have been at home, I think it is a no-brainer. Target that Luton fixture. Bring him into your team. I'm so happy that I brought him in when I did, and his ownership, I think, is just going to go higher and higher. Also, when Isak went off injured, Gordon was playing up front, so this is just such good value. Anthony Gordon, he is the one. There is still a question mark over who is going to be Newcastle's penalty taker. I feel like it might be Trippier, or was it Shah as well? Shah? Who also, bloody hell, what a game week. Hats off to you if you played him this week. But I don't know, could Gordon be on it? Has Gordon never... He hasn't really got a penalty record, has he? So it would be great if Gordon ended up being on penalties as well. I would be in heaven. But unfortunately, I don't think that will be the case. But there's a lot to follow with Newcastle at the moment. And obviously, depending on Isak's fitness, whether he's coming back. But it's just good to know that Gordon can go into that up-front position. So they are my 3 players that are on my watch list. Do let me know in the comments who you are currently keeping an eye on. And then we're going to come to the big man himself, Haaland. I thought I was going to have a very easy transfer this game week, and I would transfer out one of my front 3 and bring in Haaland. Now, the pros of Haaland, you can see written here. He's returned to the squad. Good. He came on. We'll get to the cons. City's overall fitness, they're getting a lot of key players back. They've got De Bruyne back, who he can link up with, and I think that having De Bruyne and Haaland in your team is going to be really, really popular, and it's going to be tricky deciding whether to go for De Bruyne or Salah. That's what my dilemma is currently. And then City also have the double game week coming up, which unfortunately I've gotten wrong on my table. That's 2 errors. I put it as game week 26, but game week 25 will be a double with Chelsea at home and Brentford at home. Very, very welcome fixtures. Love the look of it. Would love to captain a City player for that run of fixtures, but at the moment it's looking likely that my only City asset will be benched, so we'll see where we go from there. But the cons of Haaland are he didn't look 100% fit. He only played for 19 minutes, and Alvarez had 2 returns and will likely remain up front, I think, until Haaland is back to full fitness. I mean, to throw a spanner in the works, just before recording, I saw that Pep said he's fit and he's ready, and the whole team's ready, so that doesn't really help me with my decision. But it's so much money to spend. I think Brentford away, a tempting fixture, then Everton at home, and then obviously the double. I do really want to go for Haaland, but then part of me thinks, should I just change my midfield and then maybe bring in De Bruyne instead of Bernardo Silva, and he might be a bit more nailed, and then maybe figure out a way to bring back Haaland ahead of game week 25. So if I do take out Haaland, obviously... If I do bring in Haaland, obviously I'm going to have to take out one of my front 3, who I've grown quite accustomed to. I think there's lovable rogues in here. So we'll start off with Solanke, 7.1 million, ownership's at 26.5%. He's had 13 goals and 1 assist this season, and he's got an XG of 11.37. He was fairly quiet in the last few game weeks. He blanked against Liverpool and Spurs, but he scored against West Ham. He last scored... Before last night's game, he last scored in game week 19 against Fulham, which followed on from his massive 17-pointer against Forest. Obviously, Forest is the fixture coming up this game week, and it's a home fixture. If he could get 17 points away from home, imagine what he can do at home. It's a very, very welcome fixture. So I'd be really reluctant to take him out ahead of that. Then we have got Ollie Watkins, who has been, I'd say, mildly disappointing over the past few game weeks, but that's because I had him before, but the hype around him after he got that hat-trick about Brighton was very, very strong. And I think with Ollie Watkins, it's a very low ceiling, but you do have that consistency. And in game weeks like the one that I've just had, I need that player that will just get me a goal, and that's it. And I don't expect to get a hat-trick from him. However, Sheffield United away, that is, what did I just say about targeting that Sheffield United fixture? It's very, very tempting. He has got that consistency, and he's racked up 10 goals and 11 assists this season. His XG is slightly lower than Slanky at 9.75, but his expected goal involvement is higher at 12.71 compared to Slanky's, which is 11.79. So I think I'm keen to keep him for the Sheffield United fixture, but the other issue with this fixture is the last time that Villa did play them was very anticlimactic, and it was a 1-1 draw, and Watkins had no goal involvement in that. So I don't know. I don't think the thing that would make me want to take Watkins out is he is the highest price point of my front three, 8.6 million. So it would give me a bit more leeway elsewhere, but I just don't think I've got it in me to get rid of him. And then Darwin Núñez, if I'd have filmed this video before the last fixture, I definitely would have kept him in. But I said he's putting me through emotional turmoil. I'm finding it stressful. He's the most unpredictable of the front three, and this season so far, he's had 7 goals and 9 assists. His expected goal involvement is the highest of all three at 13.95. But the problem is, it's so difficult to know what to expect from Darwin, and that makes me a bit hesitant. In terms of ownership as well, I hate comparing it to ownership and like how it's going to affect my rank, but his is the lowest at 16.1%. Obviously, Ollie Watkins is really high at 54%, and then Slanky is at 26.5%. So I think Darwin's probably the least damaging, but it is quite nice having that almost differential to help in the ranks. And obviously, previous game week, he did get me 2 goals, and that really helped me get that green arrow. So I don't know. I think I would be tempted to do Darwin for Haaland, but I am a little bit nervous about Haaland's fitness, and it's so much money. And also, it gives me such a benching headache if I do bring Haaland in. And I will show you my team for this upcoming week. So this is how we are currently. I'm definitely sticking with Dubravka in goal for that Luton fixture. So I've got triple Newcastle, which I'm feeling fairly confident about. They seemed to kind of be a bit more back into a rhythm in the previous game week, so I'm feeling good about that. And I wasn't feeling happy about benching any of my Newcastle players last week, so I'm glad to get them all out ready to go. I've got the captaincy on Gordon at the moment. That is just because I think Luton, well, we know what Newcastle are like at home. Gordon's track record there is insane, and it's Luton, so I think they could run right in this one. I'm feeling fairly confident about the captaincy being on Gordon. The other options I would have a Slanky at Forest. Again, the 17-pointer last time that they met. That could happen again, plus it's at home, so I feel like that falls even more in favour of Slanky in Bournemouth. And then we've also got Ollie Watkins, Sheffield United away. Target the Sheffield United fixture. I feel like that's the obvious one, but the Watkins low ceiling is the thing that puts me off of that. I think Gordon's the most explosive of the three, maybe? I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. The more I think about it, the more I stress out. But then we have got Estupiñán in defence, playing Palace. This is a difficult one. And then I've also got Trent playing against Arsenal. The reason I've gone for these two over Saliba is, or these three over Saliba, is I just think they're more attacking, to be honest. And I can see more attacking returns coming from them rather than Saliba. And Arsenal aren't keeping clean sheets anyway. So the benching, again, not feeling fab about it, but I think it's probably the best decision out of those options. Palmer Wolves at home. I do see there being goals in this, and I see Palmer being involved in them. And Palmer, again, could say maybe that's a captaincy debate, but I think Chelsea, you just don't know what team you're going to get when you look at them. So I'm not feeling too confident that Palmer will definitely get any returns in that game. But I do think if you're feeling wild, whack the captaincy on him. Then we've got Bernardo Silva. Yay! Let's hope that he starts. He's been fully rested. He should be good to go against Brentford. And Brentford's defence, again, has been very, very leaky. I've got Pinnock on the bench consistently every single game week for a reason. They're not looking very strong at all. So I'm hoping that there will be some goal involvement with Bernardo Silva. It'll be very, very welcome. And I saw so many opportunities, but it would just be really nice if he can link up with De Bruyne and get some assists, get some goals. I'd be very happy, and it would just, yeah, it's annoying because I was tempted to go for the Foden option, but I had been banging on about Bernardo Silva to all of you guys all week, and I thought I don't want to do a last minute change and not justify it. And also one of my biggest things with FPL is I want to have fun with it. And if Bernardo Silva was to get a goal or an assist or anything really, a clean sheet point at this at this rate, I'd be really excited about it. Whereas if Foden did, it would just feel like a run-of-the-mill way of getting points. So I'm going for the fun side of things. Hopefully we can still get green arrows from it. And I do think he is a really good option. I think the benching was really unfortunate, but I need to kind of stick to my how I enjoy playing the game, which is why I've kept hold of Bernardo Silva for now. And then we've got Richarlison, Everton away. Initially, I did have him benched, which looking back on was stupid. So I've got him in, and then obviously Saka as well, never benching that man. Then up top, I've got Solanke for the Forest fixture. I've got Watkins for Sheffield United, and I have got Darwin on the bench. He has been flagged. There's a potential injury there as well. So if he can turn out to be rested, maybe. I don't want him to be injured, but if he can have a rest to make sure he doesn't push it too far, then that would make this whole benching situation much easier for my team. And then we've already touched on the rest of the bench. So that's who I would be going with. Now, if you say, hypothetically, Darwin is Haaland, who do I bench out of my team? I don't want to do either of my front two. It would maybe have to be Bernardo Silva because of the minutes risk, or it could be Palmer or even Saka, but I just don't feel comfortable with that. And I think if we look at my team for this game week, I just got really lucky, the fact that Trent came in for Bernardo and the fact that Gordon blanked away from home. But I was feeling quite uneasy about that whole situation. So I think maybe I need to just go with my gut on this one, go for full five in midfield, bench Darwin, and just roll until we have some more information about Haaland. The other option I could do is Bernardo to De Bruyne, which I think I am quite tempted by, but it's a lot of money, and I think I need to give Bernardo Silva a bit more time. If he goes into Brentford, I mean, maybe I'll just give him the Brentford game, roll a transfer, have 2 free transfers, and then the following week, if I'm still really dissatisfied having Bernardo Silva in there, I can transfer him out for a Foden or a De Bruyne, and I've had my fun with him in my team, and then we'll go from there. It's just really tough because I've said this about multiple teams in the past, but with City, at the moment, I'm not really sure where the goals are coming from and whether we're going to see Pep Roulette. And this is another thing that annoys me. At the start of the season, I was like, I'm not going to have any City players apart from Haaland because I'm scared of Pep Roulette. And then what happens? This. So I'm not trusting myself too much. I'd also quite like to bring in a City defender ahead of this double in 25. I'm looking at Doku potentially. So there's quite a lot to think about. And I think sometimes there's the whole, the advice of if you're not sure what to do, just do nothing. And I like this team going into the game week. And yes, I'll probably miss out on some City points somewhere, but equally, Bernardo, what's his ownership? 5.3%. If he ends up getting an attacking return, I'll be really happy with it, and I'll feel like the transfer paid off. So I think I'm going to stick with this, but as always, do let me know in the comments. The live stream earlier this week was really helpful. I got some really nice comments on it afterwards with advice and also during the stream too, and I always welcome hearing from all of you. So do let me know what you think of my team. I've pointed the wrong way. Do let me know what you think of my team, and especially captaincy. I'm intrigued to know who all of you are captaining. But yeah, that is how it stands currently. So thank you so much for watching, and a massive thank you again to everyone that subscribed to help me hit that 5,000 milestone. It's absolutely ridiculous there's 5,000 people subscribed. Thank you. I remember when I got my first 100 subscribers and I was so excited I texted my family group chat. So thank you so much, it means a lot. I will not be uploading any videos next week because I will be on holiday, which I'm gutted about because I feel like I've really gotten into the swing of content and I'm really enjoying it, despite the the rank just not doing anything. But hopefully some green arrows will be coming my way and your way. So I will see you in the following week. I will be live streaming on Sunday. Let me get the date. Sunday, the 11th of February. So there will be tons to catch up on. Don't forget to hit your notifications so that you don't miss it. And I will see you then. Bye, guys.